Well, hello, and welcome on in to some Planet Crafter. We're going to go ahead and start a brand new game here. I played a little bit of this game and I really enjoyed it, so I wanted to share it with you guys over on YouTube. So we're going to go and do a standard game here, which means that we are going to lose or drop some of our items when we die, and then we're just going to start in a standard location. Like I said, I've played this game a bit, and I think the best way to describe this game is that it's kind of a Subnautica on Mars is what is the vibe I get. So we start out here in a crashed spacecraft. We can read the message. So this is our assigned planet. It's not Mars, it's just our assigned planet. So we need to terraform this by generating oxygen, heat, and pressure. We have to reach 175,000 Ti, which is terraform, to create a blue atmosphere. So that is our first goal. So we have a seed, some food, oxygen, and water. And then we can craft various things over here. So our first thing that we need to do is gather some iron and cobalt and magnesium for a backpack and additional oxygen tank. When we come out here, we can look around. We see that we have various resources. So this is titanium. We got cobalt here. We got iron. Iron is, I think, the most important resource. We have ice, which is used to create water. We don't need it at the moment, so I'm just kind of leaving it as we go. I need some more iron. Magnesium. Grab one more cobalt. And you can see in the lower left-hand corner, we do have our health meter, oxygen meter, and water meter. We're going to go ahead and run back to the space station before we black out. So we can see our oxygen refills once we get in here. And we'll go ahead and create our oxygen tank and our backpack. We hit tab and we can open up both of these things. Now we have 145 oxygen rather than 100 and more backpack space. So the next thing we want to do is a microchip, and we're going to want, construction chip, and then eventually a torch, but not at the moment. So we need 2 silicone and magnesium. Silicone looks like this. Take up a few silicone here since we got some extras. Here's our magnesium. You can see over in the upper left hand corner, it's saying, hey, this is what you need to start working on. You need to start doing this in order to get things handled. Let's craft our microchips. We need to craft a living compartment. We need to make some drills. We need to make some oxygen production. So we do have quite a few things that we need to get done. But as you can see, this is a rather neat area. It's very very reminiscent of Mars. When I first started playing, I thought it was Mars, but the moons and planets are very different. All right, let's head back in here, and we'll craft this, and we will craft the deconstructing as well. So we'll go ahead and put both of these in here, and now I can hit Q, and I have this crafting menu. And one of the things I loved about Subnautica was the crafting in the game. I thought it was brilliant. So I'm very happy that crafting in base building is a huge part of this game. So what we're going to do is we are going to look for a place to build the base. We have to be careful though, because there's various events that can take place. I'm going to take as much of this as I can to where we're going to build our base. We're going to try to build our base on a higher ground. So that way when we terraform and lakes start forming and, you know, things start becoming more Earth-like, our base does not get flooded. So I'm just going to sprint over here to this cliff side here, this edge, and we'll be back to that base at some other point to pick up other things. Let's see if we can find a relatively flat land. There's something we can explore over there. And I think here, flat is going to be the place to go. So we'll build right here. This is going to be like a, let's see, where do we want the door at? All right, let's build this door and then we'll probably deconstruct. So it does not need power to provide oxygen, so that's really nice. And one of the reasons I brought I got the deconstruct chip is so that I can deconstruct things. I think here's a good place, and we'll build looking out over there, so that way we'll have all this area to build a base. I like that. Let's go ahead and rebuild. So I want to build here, put our door on. There we go. And we will start building some containers, some storage containers to begin with. That way we can start storing our stuff. I am going to run back, get the other bits of material from the storage in there, from our crash site, because that has very important stuff like food. Food's kind of a big deal here. Water's kind of a big deal here. Oxygen we can manage as long as we bring stuff to build little outposts with us. See our crash site way over there. And there's a lot of resources to mine here. And you can see our terraform index up there in the upper right hand corner. That's how far along we are terraforming. Alright, so we made it back to the base. Just gonna grab everything else that we need here and deconstruct this. So that'll give us an extra piece of iron. And I will attempt to mine up iron and titanium on the way back. I'll just grab what I can around here since we're not going to come back here anytime soon. And the reason I'm grabbing iron and titanium is because that's the... Oh, and silicone. That's the biggest resource that we will need in order to... Our biggest resource. That's what we'll use the most of initially when we are building our base. Should be getting pretty close. I can hold 2 more pieces. All right, I will go back and refill my oxygen here. And then we'll head out. You can see my water is getting a little low, and the more we're out in the atmosphere, the more damage we do. So the hard is our health meter. So the more damage we do to our body, like I said, there can be events that occur that will cause damage to us, like sandstorms. Asteroids can fall from the sky, which is pretty neat. It brings down resources, but can also cause issues. We can make water with the ice that you see there. So that's why I kind of leave the ice on the floor, so that way it is near where I need to be. This will be our outpost here. That ship over there, we will explore. There's another ship back that way I saw when I was running. So we'll explore both of those at some point. But before we do that, let's build ourselves a crafting table here. So we don't have power. What I want to do before we get power is I want to add on to this. So that way, now our base is a little bit bigger. It's less cramped. And let's build ourselves a couple wind turbines. We will build them. Let's see. Let's head on top of this. And I feel that since this is the front of the base, we will There we go. Put our ladder right there. Perfect. We'll build our wind turbines right on top. Build a few of them. Because these only produce 1.2 units of power per second. Low on oxygen. So we need to build a drill, a heater, a vegetube, which I will actually build that now. No, I need ice and magnesium first. We'll grab some ice, the magnesium. Then I'll come right on in here. Now I'll build this vegetube. I'm just going to build it in the corner here. And then when we click on it, we can now put our vegetables in here. So this now produces 0.5 oxygen per second. It uses 0.35 kilowatts per second. We do have that. We have power management we got to think about. Also need a drill. I may need... See, I feel like we're going to expand out that way, so I'll put my drill right over here. So that's now drilling. That is now going to cause pressure to build up. And we need some more iron. Iron is always the need. Titanium. Iron. I'll grab some water. Magnesium. I'm going to build more storage as well. Uh-oh, sandstorm coming, so we're going to head inside. Ooh. Stuff happening. Alright, so we will... Ooh. Did we get... Oh, meteors and a sandstorm? That is never good. Alright, let's get... Hydration levels critical. Go ahead. Drink some water. So we're gonna weather this out inside, and while we're in here, we can make a blueprint screen. We need more iron for that. Energy level screen. That was what I was telling you about. We can find out all of our energy information there. Ooh, they crashing close, but we're gonna have resources out there. Alright, it sounds like the wind is dying down. They're hitting everywhere. Alright. Lightning never strikes twice, right? So shouldn't get hit here. Some iron, some titanium. Holy cow, that was close. The vibration stopped my character from mining. So you can see how there's resources rolling around. That's what came from the asteroids, and it is starting to get nighttime. I got so close to base. It is starting to get nighttime. Go ahead and throw this stuff in here. I will, like I said, need to build more storage, so we'll just go ahead and do that now. And we'll manage the storage another time. I'm gonna go out and try to get all those resources. So the resources that fall from the asteroids will eventually disappear. We want to try to get them as quickly as possible. I don't have a torch, which means that it's going to be darker than normal, but it looks... Silicone brought with us. All right, that looks like this was an asteroid full of silicone. I'm okay with that. Over here, this was an asteroid of titanium. You can see the asteroid chunks despawning as we're talking. Oh, aluminum. Nice find. Aluminum is one of the rarer metals. Alright. So I think we picked up all of the loose debris. No. here comes sandstorm. You can hear from the wind. But I don't believe yesterday's was a sandstorm. Could be wrong. Titanium, iron. And let's get... Need a couple magnesium for that. Let's build our torch. Did I? Oh, I'm full. So we'll build our exoskeleton. What this does is it permanently increases our equipment capacity. So I would take one of these out, put the exoskeleton in, and boom. We can now do fancy stuff. So I need one more magnesium for my torch, which is what we're going to need as our light source. And then we will put our progress right there so we can see what's going on. So we can see our pressure has risen from 0 to 52 and our oxygen has risen from 0 to 44. And each time that rises, our terraform index goes up. So we need to reach a rather high terraform index, but we can get there. Before we go ahead and do that, let's get a desk built. I'll put that desk right here. And on that desk, we will craft our blueprints. So here, this is what we will get from each milestone of terraforming. So we get 300 Ti, we unlock backpack 2, oxygen at 1000. We get indoor ladders, heat, we would get vegetube version 2, and then pressure, we get oxygen tanks. We're actually going to get that really soon. Oxygen tank version 2. So that's going to be a real boon. And in order to make heaters, we need iridium, which we don't have yet. Iridium is a rarer metal. You have things like iridium, aluminum, stuff like that. Oh, there's a piece of iron that fell from the asteroid. Grab that. Oh, magnesium fell from the asteroid. All this stuff. Nice. Alright. There we go. Our oxygen tank level 2 is just hit. So that'll bump up our oxygen from 145 to 200. In order to make that, we need silicone, cobalt, magnesium. We have everything. So I am going to put one iron in there, so that way we can take off our oxygen tank, because that is one of the required ingredients. And we'll make that. Boom. 200 oxygen. And what does it take to make the torch? We'll make that right now too. We'll put the torch on, so now we have a flashlight. And I want this to just be food and water. So I'll put everything else in here. We'll have, let's do iron and titanium here. Then we'll have everything else over there. Oops. What am I doing with my life? There we go. We got the start of our base going. We got a couple wind turbines, a drill. I don't like how that's floating. What I might do is deconstruct it. And I love that you get 100% of your resources back in this game, which in all honesty, that's the way it should be. Can I just walk up there? I can't. So I guess we'll just have it floating for a minute. I'll build a structure. I can build a structure underneath, like a platform, to make it look better. Because I don't like the fact that it's floating, but hey, what you gonna do, man? All right, let's go ahead and continue with our resource gathering. We're gonna do titanium and iron and silicone if we ever find any out here. There's some. And what I need to do what I'm going to do, like when we go explore that, which we'll probably do next episode, I'm going to bring enough resources with me to build, go inside. I'm going to bring enough resources with me to build a door. So 1, 2 iron, 3 iron, 2 titanium, and a silicone. So 3 iron, 2 titanium, and a silicone. And what this is going to do is it's going to allow me to build a little outpost over there. So that way we have a spot to regain oxygen before going into the deep darks that is in there. But I think that's what we're going to call it for today. I'm really excited to continue playing this game. But if you have any suggestions or comments or anything about what to do, please let me know. I'm fairly new to the game. And as always, I'd like to thank my Patreons and viewers like you for watching. Until next time, cheers.